And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be having a look at the ginger mansack himself, Prince Harry, as he says he's had an awakening on racism. Now I thought I'd debunk this and prove that Prince Harry is a raging racist. I don't care what you say. So we'll have a read through the article and we'll break it apart, shall we? Prince Harry has described his awakening to the existence of systemic racism, saying, and this is from Prince Harry, not from me, the world that we know has been created, this is what Prince Harry says, by white people, Prince Harry says, for white people. Sorry, but does that not sound supremacist to you? Because it does to me. But anyway, let's continue. Harry said he has only recently recognised the full extent of racism in everyday life, really. I bet you're going to come up with some cracking explanations for it as well, aren't you, you cockwomble? I've had an awakening as such of my own because I wasn't aware. You mean you've been told that you're a racist off your missus and you've gone, okay. That's what that is, you cabbage. Because I wasn't aware of so many of the issues and so many of the problems within the UK. Well, if there is problems in the UK, which there isn't, not a one, but even if there was, you were the head of it, you fraggle. And so many of the problems within the UK, but also globally as well. I thought I did, but I didn't. No, you thought you were Mr. Know-It-All, and it turns out you're Mr. Know-It-Nothing. The only thing you know now is what your missus tells you to, innit, Harry? You shriveled up bollock. Harry and his wife, Meghan, Duchess of Swamp Fraggles, were talking to the paper from their home in California. Yep, 14 million. Paid for, probably, by us. But shh, don't say anything about that. At the start of the Black History Month, which is marked every October in Britain, when you go into a shop, listen to this one, guys and girls. When you go into a shop with your children and you only see white dolls, do you even think that's weird? There is not a black doll there, Harry said. No, we don't, Harry. You want to know why? Because we don't see race in everything, you cabbage. You see what I mean about him being a racist, everyone? How could you even think that? On top of that, let me just open your eyes a bit more, Harry, you ginger git. The reason mostly all of the dolls, not all of them, but a lot of them are white dolls and a smaller number of black dolls is because of, are you ready? It's a majority white country, you muppet.
Can I ask why he's buying a doll? Danny got a son, not a girl.
He's using it as an idea, a way to beat you over the head, because nobody thinks like that apart from raging racists, do they? I mean, come on, that's weird. There's not a black doll in there. What the fuck has that got to do with anything?
You can get black dolls.
Yes, you can.
You can get baby dolls.
But would you go into a shop and then come out and go, you know what? I didn't see any black dolls. I also wouldn't go to, say, Africa or Saudi Arabia, go into one of their stores and go, oh, there's no white dolls. That must make the entire country and everyone that lives in it and their entire history racist. You see what I mean by that?
They don't really occur to me. I just see what's on the shelf and think that's nice.
This is ridiculous. This is conflating white privilege with white majority. You live in an 80-odd% white country. Do you not think that the girls in the country are going to want the dolls of their race? Am I wrong on that? I've seen, by the way, lots of dolls that aren't white. Seems this guy is blinkered. Just a thought.
2 issues wrong with that article. 1, they're called a Duchess of Sussex. She shouldn't even be called that. She's been stripped. I don't care what anyone says. She shouldn't be allowed that name. It's disgraceful.
She's the Duchess of Swamp Fraggles.
Yeah, and the fact that they're talking about Britain when they're in California. Excuse me, love, you fucked off out of Britain. You have nothing to say about Britain anymore. Say it about America. That's where you live, so shut up.
The next is just as bad as well, everyone. Listen to this. I use that, this is Harry saying it, obviously. I use that as just one example. A crap one, by the way. A very crap one. That's just unconscious bias claptrap, isn't it? You think everything is racist now, don't you? Everything that's white. We'll go through that in a bit, but we'll have a quick look at your crap words. Next lines. I use that just as an example of where we as white people don't always have the awareness of what it must be like for someone else of a different coloured skin. You mean you do? I'll be honest, right? My entire life I've had non-white friends. My entire life. Guess who doesn't think like that? Yep, me. Why? Colourblind. You absolute race baiter. I'm sorry, but this is absolutely disgusting. This is him spouting off American critical race theory, which teaches everybody that everything white and everything that was built by whites or made by whites or invented by whites or spoken about by whites is evil, generically, as a whole.
Including his own grandparents, if you want to go that whole lot.
Yeah.
You can't really say much. I mean, he's come from an ivory tower. He lived in Buckingham Palace growing up. He went to private school. He had the best education. So he can't really say much.
I'm sorry for getting angry, but I've never been racist. I never will be racist, and I won't allow ginger bollocks like him to tell me that I am. And everything that I care about is as well. Shut up and stay in your American ivory tower and don't come back. To be in the same situation as we are, where the world that we know has been created by... It's this line again. It was Harry that did this, not me, so don't be cutting it out and trying to slaughter me with it, because I would never, ever, ever say this. It was created by white people for white people. Now, let me just highlight a few things for you, shall I? This is the world's population divided up by race.
Yeah.
You ready? Big yellow one, Asians. Well, we expected that, didn't we? Big blue one, Middle Eastern. Same again, expected that, didn't we? African, dark green. Are we seeing what I'm talking about here? Native American, light green. Blue, white. So this little blue section here is white population of the world, and the rest of it is non-white. And you're telling me this was a world made by white people for white people? Really? We're doing a bad job of it then, aren't we? How can he possibly say the world was made for whites by whites if we are one of the smallest demographics? We are massively overwhelmed when it comes to the rest of the world.
No.
So what he's effectively saying is, even though you're only a small amount, you're actually technically you're one of the minorities of the world. Mark that in your head, minorities of the world. Even though you are a minority of the world, everything in the world was created for you, by you. But the point I was trying to make is, we're a tiny minority compared to some of the other
to why everyone's screaming.
And we're only mainly, I mean, there is obviously exceptions to this rule, but mainly we're in Europe and America. And effectively what Harry is saying is everything in Europe and America was made by white people for white people, and that's a bad thing, even though for a long, long time Europe and America were majority white. Would he go to Africa and say, "Ooh, there's not many white dolls in here, you know, Africa"? Would he go to Saudi and say, "Ooh, why have you got no white kids? Sorry, Saudi"? Would he then say that Saudi was made by Saudis for Saudis, or the world was made by Saudis for Saudis? Would he say that about any other nation in the world? Any other race in the world? Would he fuck? He would. This is an attack on whites because his missus has put him through unconscious bias training, and they've convinced the sour sop, the man with no brain whatsoever, apart from in his penis, that it's right and it's real. I'm sorry and all that, but I'm not racist. All of you are not racist. So I refuse from now on to be called a racist when I never have been, and especially by an entitled, jumped up little git. I know what some lefties are going to say in reply to all this. They're going to say that, yeah, but your empire colonised the world and therefore they couldn't get any further. Well, if that was the case, explain the Commonwealth. Go on. 54 countries voluntarily joined the Commonwealth. Here's the map for them. The breakdown of that is African nations: Botswana, Cameroon, Gambia, Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, Namibia, etc., etc. Then you've got Asia: Bangladesh, Brunei, India, Malaysia, Maldives, Pakistan, Singapore, Sri Lanka, etc. Then you've got the Caribbean and Americas. Quite a few there, isn't there? What about this one? Europe: Cyprus, Malta, United Kingdom, and the Pacific: Australia, Fiji, Kiribati, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Tonga. The list is massive, isn't it? 54, there's the flags for them all. Now, not one of them were forced. All of them requested. After we abolished the empire, through choice, Harry, through choice, we decided. It didn't crumble, we didn't kill it off, we didn't get defeated, we decided. Bit like ending slavery, but hey-ho, look at the map as well. Look at the concentrations. And you're telling me that this nation is racist and everything that we've built is racist when 54 countries want to remain close friends with us. Not through force, not through racism, not through anything other than they want us to help. So shut up, Harry, you don't know what you're talking about. And neither do you, lefties. He also said this as well, everyone. When you look across the Commonwealth, there is no way that we can move forward unless we acknowledge the past. Really. Harry said in July, it's not going to be easy, and in some cases it's not going to be comfortable, but it needs to be done because guess what? Everybody benefits. Let me say this, everyone. In regards to the Commonwealth, one of the main reasons that people want to join, are we ready for this one? Is because the Queen stated, doesn't matter about the size of your nation, everybody has an equal seat at the table. Nobody gets favoured. No one. Not one nation, not two, no one. So when he says everybody benefits, they already do. What he's effectively saying on that last part is the Commonwealth don't realise that white people are racist, so we're going to go over there and we're going to tell them that they are. Am I wrong with that? But anyway, I would like to know your opinion on this.
He's a ginger bollocks who needs to shut up and shut his missus up as well.
Thank you. This for Prime Minister.
Oh yeah, I'll be Prime Minister.
Maybe not. Maybe not. No, don't give her that power.
We only ever kill people off called rotten politics.
I'm going before I die. She's only joking, by the way. She's not sharpening the axe up or nothing.
That was a joke, by the way. Yeah.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe. I know it was a bit of a rant, but I'm sick to death of being called a racist and everything that I care about being racist. And there's no redemption from people like this. They just want to tear it all down. And this is coming from the man that could have been sixth in line to the throne. How dare he? Stay safe, everyone. Stay sane. Don't listen to ginger bollocks. They're usually full of shit anyway. And I'll see you on the next one.